Working on, which uses social networking in a very unusual way. So I think that's why Melody let me be here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and I decided that instead of just reading a mission statement or what I've been doing, just read about what I've been doing. I did this little drawing last night, and once it's kind of, everybody has one, I'm going to go start talking about it. But basically what it is, it's a little drawing that I did which explains the process that I went through to create this project called the X Tree. So it started with a need about 14 years ago, actually. I'm going to back up a little bit and give you a little history, because I started a business called Sube, which is actually using social networking. So I'm actually going to start there, and then I'll go on to the map. So by then, everybody will have their maps. So it always starts with a need, and about 14 years ago, when my son was 2, I really wanted to pass on the Spanish language to him, so I started a business called Sube, Learning Language Through Art, Music, and Games. And I kind of started as an after-school program and then grew into a business. And it's a curriculum for teaching a language to kids in a school. And basically, it's completely web-based now, and I sell my product to schools nationally and internationally. And I use Facebook, and I use Twitter, and YouTube, and all of the different things out there to market. And basically 90% of my sales are coming from just web-based tools like this, thanks to a lot of help. So I work a lot with Westcore, and I get a lot of consultation help on how to use Twitter and how to use Facebook for marketing and for building a relationship with your customers. And Facebook, one of the things that I discovered that I want to share, I don't know if anybody else is using this, I was always kind of not sure about using Facebook because I was worried that if people hadn't signed on to it and weren't actually a member of it, they wouldn't be able to get this information that I wanted to share. But I found out that Facebook review tab, when you make a fan page, I started a fan page for Sube, and the review tab, I have it linked to my home page. So on my home page it says, if you want to hear more about what people are saying about Sube, you know, click here, and it takes you right to the Facebook fan page, and then you can see what people are saying about it, and it's directly linked to the website, and you don't actually have to be signed into Facebook. So that's been really, really useful, because then they get to see real faces attached to their avatars, and they get to see what people are actually saying about it. So that's been really helpful, and Twitter and so forth. So basically that's how Sube got started, and now the web and all of these social media tools are so effective that I find myself, like, less time is needed to manage the business of Sube. So it takes about 20% of my time, and of course there was a lot more. That I also use CMS, and I use a lot of cloud-based software and so forth. But basically I got it to where it only takes 20% of my time, so I had a lot more time. And so when you have a lot more time to think and reflect, you come up with more needs. So I came up with this new need to explore art again in a new way. And I wanted to get away from more traditional art in a wall, in a museum, in a gallery, and explore participatory art. Art that involves people, and people help to create the art, and art with social purpose. So now we're at the map. Everybody have the map now? It's my little drawing I did last night. So you can see that's basically what's driven this whole new project called the X Tree. So in trying to find a way that I could create participatory art, I came up with the X Tree idea, and it's a dynamic visualization of a tree form that's generated from tweets, from messages. Right now it's tweets, but eventually it's going to be text messages and Facebook messages. And so if you go down the little chart, you'll see the way, it says A over here on the right-hand side. So basically the idea is that you can just go and tweet the word X Tree with the parentheses around the X, and this program that we've written finds your tweet and logs your avatar, where you're tweeting from, and it generates a branch in a tree. So eventually it's going to create a virtual global tree. And that represents how we're all connected, not just through social networks and mobile devices, but how we're all connected as a living system. So the idea is to create this tree in time for the holidays that's a virtual global holiday tree. And it's completely generated from tweets and social messages, social networks. So that was really exciting, and then I thought, okay, so now how to how to make it so that it's not just art, but that it has a social purpose. And so I just wanted art to be more about solving world problems or supporting a cause that I'm passionate about. So I started looking into, I was really inspired by Haiti's, what's it called, the Red Cross did a really interesting fundraising text donations. Was anybody aware of that? They raised over 20 million, and you just had to text the word Haiti, and your bill, when you got your Verizon bill or your cell phone bill, it just was deducted, your donation. And they raised over 20 million doing that, text messaging. And so I started looking into interesting fundraising, creative crowdfunding ideas for supporting causes and people who are doing really great things to help the world. So I found some interesting things that I'm going to explore. And so that's why I'm saying I'm not an expert. So I usually call Nina and I say, Nina, help! And basically they give me ideas. But I've been looking at that Twitter has a new thing called TwitPay. So you can easily, if you're in Twitter, use your PayPal and make a donation. And so text messaging, you can make a donation. And of course, through the website and through Facebook, there's always easy ways to make links. So I like that they're starting to integrate ways that you can actually donate. And you know, as an artist, you can use it for funding your projects. So one of the things, if you look at the little map over on the top right, like one of the ways that I'm fundraising for Xtree, besides the fact that Sub is, of course, sponsoring it, is I'm looking into Kickstarter, which is another interesting web-based model for funding creative projects. So anyway, I started to explore these options of how to use crowdfunding and creative fundraising methods to support an organization. And I was driving along one day and I found, I was listening to the radio and I kept hearing tree, 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 tree. And I thought, that's a sign, I got to listen to what that was. And it was this organization out of Albuquerque called Tree, New Mexico. And they're like two women that do, through community efforts, the community outreach and educational outreach, they have planted 1 million trees. As of 2007, since 1997, completely through community outreach. And they track every tree and where it's planted, what region it's planted in, Belen or Albuquerque. Okay, so basically I thought, well, that's a great way to tie this in, where you're not only participating by sending in your tweet and becoming a branch in a virtual tree, you could also help to donate money towards an organization that's really planting trees. So I looked further, and they have this great program called the Dedication Program. And basically, for $5, they will plant a tree in your name, or you can give it as a gift to a friend or a family. And they'll send you a certificate, which says your name, the person that it's dedicated to, and the tree will be planted in honor of that person. So I just thought it was great, and I wanted to support it. And they have PayPal on their website, but I'm going to be exploring helping them using these social networks as a way to donate money towards that, because it's just $5. So it's easy for people to just click and donate $5, and the tree is planted. So if you look at the map, to the right and to the left, A and B, and you see the Twitter and the social networks in the middle, I'm kind of exploring this idea. It's a year-long project. It's starting now, and by next year, I'm giving myself time, because these social networks take time to, find like people and creating participatory art with social purpose using social networks. And then if you look down at the bottom here, that's the last thing, which is that how am I going to share this Xtree with people? And I'm going to put it on the website, of course, and people will be able to see this animated tree that's being generated from tweets. And you can actually search your name once it's on the website and see which branch you are in the tree. So it's a very interesting, it's called data visualization. Basically, we're using data which is coming from people to create a visualization. But I wanted to find another way to share it. So I've been exploring video mapping techniques, ways of projecting animated images onto buildings. And so I thought what I decided to do is what's happening now, coming up December 11th, is for the annual lighting of Ladue. The top of Ladue on building 203 Fine Art, I don't know if you know where that is, at the very top of Ladue, we're going to set up the projectors and we're going to project live from the internet the tweets as they're generating and creating branches in the tree. You'll see them projected on the building. And it'll be a lot more. I don't want to give it away, but we have the possibility to do snowflakes and stars and all kinds of things. So, but basically the idea is this tree that's created from different people that have participated is going to be animated live onto this building. So that's pretty much it. So the information on this is that Ladue Street from 5 to 7 is the stroll, and then at 7 o'clock, if you work your way to the top, you'll see the projection on loop from 7 to 7:30, and then at 7:30, Shauna's doing her amazing fashion show, avant-garde fashion show as well, right across the street. And if you'd like to participate, we'd love for you to participate. All you have to do, and you should be able to do it after this session, you'll know how to do this, just send a tweet, and you put the word pound, of course I have it written, pound X tree, and you'll be a branch in the tree. Now, because this takes time to actually, this is going to go global, and it's going to take time to actually build a tree from all the individual people. What we're doing for the inauguration is we're using the search word Taos and Ladue so that we have enough tweets to show what the visualization looks like. And so what we're going to do is color code them so that eventually, if you're from Taos, New Mexico, the branch will be a certain color. And if you're from Argentina or another country, your branch will be another color. So what you'll see at the event is that, like Taos and Ladue, these more general terms will have different colors. So you'll get an idea of what the tree is going to look like in different colors, and eventually it will represent you, no matter where you are in the world. That's it.
So, does anyone else have any questions before we wrap up?
Do you have to use the hashtag on Taos and Ladue?
Yes, right now, the only way to participate right now is through Twitter.